I've looked at almost 2,000 messages sent by the 3 main wanted developers in the official Discord server to understand what's coming soon in the game. This took me ages, but I've got a bunch of stuff. I've divided them into 3 separate categories on what I personally think is likely, maybe kind of potentially could come, and unlikely to drop in wanted this year. Normally there's updates every 2 weeks. We haven't got an update announcement yet, so I would assume that there's not one. So maybe this video can let you lot know what will come in the next one. So let's begin with the unlikely things. Either the developer has said that they, probably won't implement this, but potentially, or maybe I just don't think the idea is good, or maybe it's just not relevant anymore. I've got 5 things in total, and for each category it's going to go in the date sent. So we're going to go from oldest to newest, and we're going to start with the 26th of November. Yeah, like right when the game launched, Justin spoke about an exclusive resort wheel vehicle. If you don't know, the resort is a place in the game. You have a daily wheel, you can spin it, and you can get a vehicle prize. And he mentioned that there's going to be an exclusive vehicle for it. We're going to replace it with a new car, make it exclusive to the prize wheel, so it'll be like ultra rare. The reason why I've included this here is because this was when the game launched. If you don't know, the Spectre, the Bugatti, used to be on the wheel. This was sent when the Spectre was there. When he says it, he's referring to the Spectre. Nowadays, of course, we've got the Razor, the McLaren, and that's now on the wheel. So I think this might have been scrapped. I think it used to probably, the idea was to replace it with an exclusive vehicle, and then I think the Razor dropped and they just thought to place it in there. I still would love this to be a thing, though. I think it would be awesome if that prize wheel was an exclusive thing. It would get people playing the game, logging on every day, playing for 15 minutes and spinning the wheel. I think this should happen, but I don't think it will. Next one's just insane. Someone mentioned how they were playing the original Wanted version and they loved that they kept the bank jumping. I don't know what this is. I haven't looked really, I don't know what that is. He says he misses the wall climbing. Thank you for the kind words. Hopefully we can get wall climbing in soon. It's on the screen right now. It's footage of Wanted 1's wall climbing. I assume it's like Spider-Man. I don't know. I don't think this makes sense. Climbing walls like a Spider-Man, unless if they do a Mad City and add a hero team, but I don't see that happening. Very strange. Another thing from another game that they made in the past, balloons. Apparently these are a thing in Ohio. I want to add balloons to Wanted, but I probably never will. That's why it's in this section. It's definitely not healthy for the game, but he loves that balloons became a thing in Ohio. On the screen you can see how balloons work. I would assume they're similar to airdrops. That'd be my guess. Maybe like airdrop system of like a balloon and you shoot it, or maybe you can like, maybe it's a physical balloon that you actually fly with. I'm gonna find out when editing this video. 3 in a row from other games. This one is linked to Emergency Response Liberty County. Someone called Nucleon mentioned how you can store guns in your car, like in the trunk of the car. You can put like a gun in there, and then you've got like vehicle weapon storage, like weapon storage in your vehicle. And he said, yeah, we've talked about it a lot. Maybe in the future, one thing at a time. I think the gun locker was already a thing at this point, because this is the 20th of February, and I think gun lockers were a thing in the jewelry update in January, I'm pretty sure. Could be cool, for every vehicle you have, it has its own kind of compartment to store vehicles, but to not store vehicles, to store weapons, but the gun locker exists. I don't really see the point. Final thing in unlikely, this is their legendary shoe loot. And on the 18th of April, Justin wrote, not yet. So it could be a thing in the future. He's basically referring to the fact that when you spawn, there are 2 shops right next to you. The Tech Shack, and that's possible in that shop to get a legendary TPU item. It's very rare. There's nothing of an equivalent of that in the shoe shop next door. But I would love that. I think it would be really cool if they did the Back to the Future shoes. They're on the screen right now. Imagine those inside of the shoe shop. I think that'd be cool. It's been a few months, so this was the 18th of April. I feel like they would have done it by now. So I'm saying unlikely. All right, next up is the maybe category. It could happen. It probably will happen, but maybe not this year. I think for most of these, they're in maybe because this year seems a bit of a stretch, and this is all about stuff releasing this year. So this is the oldest one, 27th of November, right again when the game launched. One day I'll add the railgun. Cool. A railgun weapon. I feel like that could be quite overpowered. A little bit concerning. Hopefully it's balanced. I would imagine maybe it's like a thing you can get in the military base. Maybe there's something you're gonna have to do and you can get it. It'll be kind of lame if you just buy it in the gun shop. I think it could be cool to have like a special thing you have to do to get it or something. Not bad. I think it's okay. Maybe even an airdrop weapon. Yeah, potentially. Next one's interesting. Someone asked, are you gonna make a clan system like Ohio? And he said eventually. I believe that crews were already a thing when the game launched, so the clan system, I think you have like a thing, it works offline as well, and you can kind of go to each other's house and work together in a proper clan. I personally don't really see this happening. I think they're more likely to flesh out the crew system and develop that instead of a clan system, but you never know. It's in maybe. DJ Pelter asks, like, do the artisan missions, which is like customizing a gun, you have to get a gun, you have to customize it in a certain way, eventually unlock mission exclusive rewards? He says that's the idea, but just cash rewards for now. He mentioned 4 days later that it would be cool if, you know, the artisan missions unlock special attachments for your weapon, like an exclusive scope or an exclusive handle or something like that. I think that's cool. I do like the idea. More things like the meat grinder quest where you have to do something and you actually get something. My only concern as to why this is a maybe is because of the events. We've had the Easter event, we've had the Christmas event. They've given exclusive stuff. So maybe instead of it just being these type of missions, it's just going to be event related stuff, which is okay. I don't mind it. That's why it's in maybe, because I'm not 100% sure. We got our first robbery mention, a train robbery on the 1st of December. Justin, what about train robbery? That would be fire. That would be fire. That's all we've got. There are some tunnels around the map. There's one at the Badlands. There's one near the military area. And then there's one next between the police station, Red Bridge, and the little kind of port area. Maybe a train could go through the tracks and they build some tracks and stuff. I think maybe making a train go around the whole map or around the Badlands, something like that could be really fun. I think a train robbery works in this game a lot, so I'd like to see it. This next one's a bit of a hot topic. NPCs. Someone was asking about how Wanted 1 had NPCs, and this is true. There are NPCs around in the original Wanted. You can run over them. I think you can even like take money from them and stuff like that. They're like everywhere in that game, as you can see. So someone asked if Wanted 2, which technically is this game, is going to have that. He said, we're still debating if they're right for the game. It'll be a big investment of development time and energy. I have a prototype working, but it's not there yet. Of course, there are NPCs that you just talk to, but in terms of walking around the streets and stuff like that, we haven't seen them. 4th of December, will there be a chance for melee weapons? He said future, which means in the future they're going to do it. We do have now, after this was sent, the buzzsaw for the jewelry store, and he did mention that it is of course a melee weapon. It technically is one. I think we could get more. I would like to see like a knife and like a throwing stuff and, you know, different types of weapons like that. Maybe some like really OP ones, but you have to be really specific. Like imagine like a throwing knife and it's like a one-shot kill, but it's very difficult and it's like a projectile. So if someone's moving, you're gonna have to kind of time it with their moving pattern. I would like that. I think that'd be sick. Yeah, that's why it's in maybe. We've already got the buzzsaw. Maybe that's what he meant by this, but potentially. Another thing from Ohio, someone asked, will you consider adding gun crates where you can buy guns and get a commission off other people like in Ohio? And he said future. Interesting. On the screen right now is how the gun crates work. I assume that you just customize a gun, you put it in a crate, and then you sell the gun and people can buy it and you get a percentage of the revenue. That's my guess. If I'm wrong, you can see it on the text on the screen right now, but yeah, potentially this is before the airdrop update was added to the game, so maybe airdrops kind of replace that because it's like a crate and they tend to give weapons. Maybe, I'm not 100% sure. This one's cool. Boss fights. Someone's asked, maybe bosses. Cool idea about some sort of military raid, for example. He said, yep, bosses like extraction shooter bosses, they spawn rarely and are tough to fight but can drop rare loot, can tailor them to the location. I don't mind that idea. I just want them to do what Mad City did, because I think what Mad City did was perfect with the boss fights. You have like a limited time area, like a new area, or maybe an area that gets revamped. You have to do something in the game, like find certain things or do this and that to start the boss fight, and then you get one attempt at it. If you beat it, you get an exclusive reward. If you lose, then you've got to, you know, do everything again. I'd love that. I think that would be sick if they just copied it, because, you know, obviously not the crispy bacon one, because that one you had to like rob so many times, it was terrible. I would like to see it. I really think they could do some bosses. This is a bit different the way he's describing it. You like a special, like, oh, this boss is spawned at the military base and you got to kill it and you get some loot and stuff. That's fine, I guess, but I want like a proper special attacks cutscene lore developed boss fight that's like a limited time thing. I think that'd be great. Bit more mild, this one. Vans. I swear, there needs to be vans in the game. A van is literally used in almost every robbery. True. I would like to see some type of robbery where you put your bag inside of a van and maybe there's like a map marker that appears for police and maybe even syndicates, and they can like shoot the van, run into it, explode it, and then maybe the van can explode and everyone can take the money that that person got. Some type of robbery like that. I don't know how it would work with so many people robbing one place. Maybe only one person can rob it or something, and then everyone's just trying to take the money from him. I think that could be cool, like going from point A to point B, and there's like 50 different delivery zones around the map. It could be fun. I think vans as a vehicle are cool because it's a different type of vehicle, but using them in a robbery and stuff like that, Could be cool. Similar to boss fights, live events, 9th of December. Will there be some types of live events? Maybe like in Mad City. Live events would be fun. I don't know anything about Mad City, to be honest. Yeah, they did live events. Most games have done live events. I think nowadays, and this was sent before admin abuses, and most games just do admin abuses, including this game. So I personally don't consider admin abuses live events. I would like to see it. I think it would be really fun. Like a Jailbreak with their Chapter 4 thing. Something like that. Car radios, one day. I think that's a must. You know, I would like to see different radio stations, different radio hosts, stuff like that. Like imagine like Forza Horizons, stuff like that with different radios. It's just a lot of work. You got to hire like a bunch of different people for the stations. You got to find a bunch of different music. It's a lot of work for something not many people are going to use. So I don't really see it happening this year, but you never know. Another robbery one, and this one he sent unprompted. No one asked him about it. He just said it on the 22nd of February. I think like a cargo ship robbery at the port would be fun, but that wouldn't come for a while. I think, and I found this interesting when I was looking into this, boats were not mentioned. Ever. There's never been any discussion about boats being a vehicle in the public wanted Discord, which is really surprising to me. But I think it makes so much sense if they add boats and then they add the cargo ship robbery in the same update, and then you have to have a boat to rob the cargo ships, and it goes hand in hand. Kind of like with the cargo plane right now, unless if you get there early when the plane spawns, you kind of need a boat. You kind of need a helicopter, sorry, to rob the cargo plane. You kind of need it, unless if you're there early. That's kind of their requirement. Like in Bank, you need a C4. Jewelry store, you need a vault cracker and a buzzsaw. Plane, you need a helicopter, and then you could do cargo ship, and you need a boat. Like, you kind of need something to do everything, every single robbery, you know? I would like that. I would not like this, though. Mobile-only servers. Do you not enjoy the crossplay? I'll consider adding something for that in the future. I get it, yeah, we intend on adding them in the future. Yeah, mobile servers. He also mentioned voice chat servers, but now Wanted just has voice chat enabled, so I guess they reverted the decision on that. I don't know. I don't love that idea of mobile-only servers. I guess you could probably go in the server list and force join a non-mobile server. Maybe there's an option for that, but I don't know. I just feel like putting everyone together makes more sense. 18th of April, we need a way to exchange tons of gems for cool rewards. Imagine like 20 gems equals an amethyst statue. I don't know how this would work. Maybe something at the observatory or something like that. I've suggested in the past, idea I think is really cool, like an index app in the phone. So you kind of have like an encyclopedia of every single piece of loot in the game, including limited time ones. And then you kind of collect it. It tells you like how many times you've collected it, the first time you collected it, the last time, where they can spawn around the map and stuff like that, like all in your phone as like an app. Maybe you could also have rewards for that. Sell like 100 gold, you get a special gold furniture, something like that. I think that could be fun. Imagine like a brain rot game, you know? I know that's a bad example, but brain rot games have an index thing, and I do like that. Maybe something like that for Wanted. I think it could be cool. This one's close to being an unlikely because I really don't see it happening. I love trading in theory. This is about trading, but in practice it can lead to skewed game economies. My idea is to add trading in a limited capacity, maybe exclusive to gun cosmetics, then things like cars can be untradeable. I just don't see it, because you can't drop loot that you get in your bag or in your house. You can't drop that and give it to someone else. So, and vehicles, like, you just save people time. Like, maybe as Justin said, there could be something trading related, but I think adding trading would be a bit of a nightmare. So they'll have to be careful if they introduce this. I don't really see this happening, especially not this year, but you never know. And this is interesting. I'm glad I found this. This one, I hated this feature. I still do hate this feature. 14th of June, this is actually like a week ago. I think shooting out of cars needs an insane accuracy debuff. Right now, you could be perfectly accurate with a deagle. I don't get the shooting through vehicles. When someone's in a vehicle, they can shoot through the vehicle. Why? You have glass. They can shoot through the glass at other people, but then you can't shoot them through the glass. If someone's got bulletproof glass on their car, you shouldn't be able to shoot through it. That's what I think. And then I think if you have any other type of glass, then if you shoot through it, the glass will break and then people can shoot you from the glass. I think that makes so much more sense. I don't get how someone can have bulletproof glass and then shoot you through the glass. I don't get that at all. I think that's ridiculous. Final one in maybe. This is the first and only one not from Justin. So Braden and Cody, they've been doing bug reports and stuff in the general server. They haven't really said much stuff. But the most recent one in May, and overall, the most recent idea one comes from Braden here. When a house is getting a rework because they're kind of useless for anything besides loot storage, he says we have lots of plans for houses. Maybe soon we will see. I do agree. Houses are pretty pointless. You can customize them. There's a lot of furniture. That doesn't really do anything. You've of course got the loot storage as they mentioned, and yeah, I mean, that's a good feature. I do like that exists, and you can store your loot and keep stuff for when you need it or just to flex to other people, but apart from that, it's kind of pointless. I'd love to see personally like a special vault furniture someone can buy and then put it in their house, and then they can take their money back and put it in the house, and then they have to stay in the game and protect the vault for like an hour. And then all the money they put in there doubles after an hour, and then everyone knows that at that house there's something going on and they can rob it or something like that. Kind of like a house robbery. I would really like that, and you can kind of like defend it and build stuff around it to defend it and stuff like that. I think that's amazing. I would love to see that. Will that happen? I don't know. All right, now we're into likely. I think it is quite probable that these things will be introduced to Wanted this year, and we're starting in the game because there are 3 things that weren't mentioned by a developer but do exist in the game that would suggest something is coming soon. The first one's at the observatory here, the Orrery Observatory. I've always hated that name. Oh my god. If we go inside, we can talk to the old man here. We have any items for sale, and he says that he's working on a prototype for a thermal scope. This has been there since launch. I think this year is the year that we'll get it. I would like to see it, and I think it could be cool if it's not available in the gun store. You actually have to like buy it from him or something like that, and every time you die and lose the weapon, you have to buy it from him again and equip it again, something like that. That could be fun. For the longest time, the NPCs in the airport mentioned how there's going to be some things changing and the airport's closed down. It will function soon. And now, of course, we do have this fully working airport. We've got suitcases, we can take the stuff. We've, of course, got the cargo card we can take when the plane's active. I personally think, and there's not many indications for this, but I did want to mention this because I do think it's likely, this is going to be better. The airport will become its own kind of mini heist, and each shop you'll be able to take stuff from. I think it's quite likely because you've got this lovely airport and it's all just for, you know, suitcases that don't really give you much. They're kind of pointless. And you've got like a pizza shop, you've got a clothing area, you've got like all of this nice stuff here. Why not use it? I would think it's quite likely that this is going to happen. I would love to see it. You've got a coffee house, you've got an Aeromart. Imagine like different things you can take from different shops. There's even shops down here. Like, come on, I think this is a must. And the final one can be found in the cultural district right here, bottom right of the bank. And we've got these buildings, and there's this NPC who says, this looks like a nice place to set up shop. This red building over here, nothing's inside of it, but I think we could get this as like a mini heist in the future. Same for this building over here, because both of these changed recently. I did cover this in a secrets video recently. I want to mention them. I think it's quite likely that these will be some sort of mini heist in the future. And back to the Discord, I have some fun plans for the Anomaly, 27th of November, quite early on in the game. We haven't got many lore developments. A good point. Like, the lore has remained basically the same. The only thing we've had with the Anomaly since launch has literally been the Anomaly egg that you just get inside the Anomaly. So I would like to see that. Obviously, this isn't a priority for the devs right now. They want to grow the game, expand the player count, add more stuff, make the game feel better and just easier to just hop in and play for hours. So I get it. It's not a priority right now, but I could see it happening this year. I think it's quite likely we'll see some lore developments occur. This one's also pretty obvious. Are the helicopters upgradable? Future. In the future, they will be. 100%. There's no doubt in my mind. You cannot customize or upgrade your helicopters. So I think it makes sense 100% in the future. And just to reaffirm that, and I will jump ahead a little bit with this one, 25th of January, so a bit more recently, he mentioned that helicopter customization will come soon. So there you go. Police update. So not police missions that everyone keeps asking for, a police update on the 29th of November. The cop team and their purpose will be fleshed out more. I want them to have exclusive content to grind for. Since that was written, we've had the paycheck system, and that's about it. So I would assume that more is going to come, and I think this year it will. And he also mentioned an armored car that you can grind for. So maybe, yeah, maybe like a mission system. We'll talk about that a little bit later. The reward is like a big beefy armored vehicle. I guess like the Blade with the Syndicate team, kind of an equivalent for that. It's like got a lot of health. Could be fun. I've got 3 different message logs from Justin about this one. Motorbikes. On the 7th of December, he mentioned Randy's motorcycle shop. Maybe that could be a thing that opens up in the Badlands. I'd like to see it. They are working on a building in the Badlands. Could be a motorbike store. Then on the 12th of December, someone asked if they'd ever consider a rapid but weak motorcycle. He said in the future. And finally, 25th of January, so more recent, we're excited to get motorbikes to you. Not this update, but can move that up the list. I'm so confident that's going to happen this year. Like, there's no part of me that thinks we're going to get to the end of the year and they're still not going to be in the game. And this one was a big shock to me. On the 10th of December, will you add different bullet types? That's my plan. A higher damage bullet, but you need to unlock it in the future. Different bullet types does make sense, because we do just have general bullets. Like, being able to change the type of bullet. Like, if you have a assault rifle, maybe you can have a bullet that works better for long range and deals damage kind of long range and then there's short range. I don't understand bullets. I don't mind it. I think it could be a bit confusing for new players, but if they do it correctly, then sure, why not? This one I've been asking for ages, and I didn't know that it was actually already discussed in here on the 10th of December about a money printer. Someone placed a money printer accidentally because they tried to equip their loot bag. I've done this so many times. I've tried to equip my loot bag and then click it to open it and check the stuff or drop something out of it, and I just spawn a money printer in. I need to make the wheel a lot better. That's a pretty big pain point right now. Maybe a confirmation would be nice. Yeah, just like you click it, it says, do you want to drop a money printer? Maybe after like 3 times of doing it in that server, it will just do it automatically or something. So then you'd have to do it every single time. I don't know, something like that could be fun. Maybe every minute it asks or something, so you can like spam them a lot. Yeah, I think this is a must because people are just wasting their money. It's annoying. This one was a pretty big disappointment for the Christmas update because there was no snow map. There was no snow when the Christmas event released. Like, I would have liked to see the map completely white, covered in snow. I think it would have looked amazing. And he said, we just launched and converting the entire map to snow was not feasible. Definitely next year. It's going to happen. Christmas update, right at the end of the year, we should get a snow map in Wanted, which is amazing. This is another thing that annoys me so much. Shooting through walls. You can just do that. You can just poke through a wall and just shoot someone through the wall. It's ridiculous. 12th of December, he said he's going to fix the bug where you can do that. It's been like 6 months, Justin. So it's still not fixed. It's like 7 months, actually, more like 7.5 months. Can we get on that? That'd be great. Thank you. I've been in my house AFK with loot and I've died, and then I've come back and I've missed the restore items. It's annoying. This next one, I know a lot of people have complained about this. Car sounds. Lots of cars just sound the same in the game, and he said it's hard to source good car sounds. The game's released, but it's something we want to improve on for sure. The Zorvello is the same as the Blade or something like that, and it's just like that's an Audi and the Zorvello is like a Pagani or something. I don't know what the brand of the Zorvello is, but still like a hypercar and an Audi R8. They shouldn't have the same engine sound. So yeah, I think every vehicle should have its own engine sound, but it's not that big of a priority. It would just be nice. And you also mentioned it last week. So there you go. Are we going to change all new car sounds? He said eventually. So I think it could happen this year. I think it's probable. This one I also want a lot. Weapon customization. Being able to customize your gun in the future. Yes, I want to see some wraps. I want to see some decals. I want to see charms like in Rivals. That could be cool. Maybe even you could do like Rivals like a finisher. When you kill someone and like they get downed or you first or something, there's like a effect that plays. That could be fun. I'd also like to see like stickers or something like people draw stickers, submit them in the Discord server, and then they pick their favorites and they add them to the game, and you can like place stickers on your guns. I think that could be sick, and it's like that community interaction type of thing. I think that'd be amazing. This one's the one that so many people have been talking about. When are we going to get police missions? We've got Syndicate Career. It's going to happen, and he said over the summer, I'm sure. I think that pretty much confirms it. I wouldn't be too surprised if police improvements and the police missions happen at the same time. I think that makes sense. Lots of people are upset about the crate update, the premium vehicle crate. So difficult to get the Panther, which is quite significantly better than the Scout helicopter. And he said, Loki, the only thing that should be a bit easier to get is the helicopter. And he said, I think my plan is to instead add newer helicopters outside of the crate that can compete with the Panther rather than making the Panther easier. Sure. So there'll be new helicopters and their stats will be comparable with the Panther. So you're not going to feel like you need to get the crates to get the Panther in order to have a good helicopter. There should be just better ones in the future. So that's good. And the final most recent one, 4th of June in the likely category. I would like to add ways to make money without necessarily being a criminal. Civilian jobs, please. That's something I really want in this game. The ability for a civilian to work. You can be like working at the port or the airport or at the pizza place because the pizza guy mentions it, or at the hotel or on the farm or in the desert in some way, like an archaeologist or something. Like being able to like search through the sand and dig up fossil bones, and then they add like a museum heist and then you deliver it to the museum and you get rewards and something like that. Like that would be sick. Amazing. Especially also if they do like the Syndicate Career with civilians and you can get like a tractor for the farm, and then the farming becomes a lot easier and you get a special brush as the archaeologist, and then you can like brush quicker and do the jobs easier. You know, I would love it if every single team in the game could earn money in very well, and it's very comparable. It's not like, oh, if you know, civilian jobs are cool, but you barely get any money. No, like they should be comparable to criminals. I would love that. I think that'd be sick. Can you tell I really want that to be added? I just think civilian jobs make so much sense, and I'm holding out hope. I'm saying it's going to happen this year. 37 things in total that could be coming to Wanted this year. divide it into different categories. Let me know your thoughts. What do you want to see? What's something that they haven't mentioned that you want to see? What's something that they have mentioned that you want to see most? Something that I've put in unlikely, or maybe you think that we're going to get wall climbing. Maybe we think maybe the Spider-Man update will happen. Who knows? Let me know in the comments. Make sure to subscribe. We're so close to 100,000. I make wanted content all of the time. So if you enjoyed this video, you're going to like all my other content. And if you want to check out another wanted video, it's right there. It was on the last update. We had the cargo plane revamp. We had a bank revamp as well. A bunch of other stuff, daily missions and all of that. So check it out right there. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you later.